This is London with MarketHedge. I want to bring your attention to Bitcoin, as always, guys. In terms of the trade, 144K. This was at 220. A lot of value wiped off the map. I want to shout out to No Torque, who took after that 10-minute talk that I gave you guys. In terms of that, shout out and at least give me a thumbs up if you guys are watching today to get some technicals for the weekend. I would appreciate it to know how many of you are. In terms of this specific preceding pivot to the left, you got it. That was a natural take. We're currently at that 20 moving average on the daily. You guys got it on the daily. It's currently picking up on a Friday, kind of a lazy Friday afternoon. We're picking up on the 20 moving average on the daily. Remember the constriction that we had here previously before that bull flag failed to perform. But look at the constriction on the Bollinger Band. That was tight, really tight. Now, No Torque nailed that. He actually took, and he did take, and sent that in before the drop. So congratulations again, No Torque. It's all about VIP. In terms of that, I love it when you guys are the stars. Way to go. Now, in terms of my own exposure here, I am in a position, I've got like 6-7 accounts. I've got trades everywhere. Part of development in the next, I'd say probably Q3, 4, is deciding if I want to consolidate things. I like MarketHedge. It's going really simply right now. It's not too complicated. Developer on vacation, etc. I don't want to stress things out, especially during summertime. What we're going to be doing, and let me, before I forget, I want to talk about the weekly. I can't forget the weekly, and then I'll go right back to where we were in terms of talking about MarketHedge. This specific topside standard deviation of the weekly. Do you know what this is called? When you see two spikes like this, it's a horned top. That is called a horned top. It is not a it's not something to be missed. It's something that's well known. Let's say Tom Bulkowski knows quite a bit about them. They're very well known in New York, I'd say. So the big traders are looking at the weekly potential horn tops. So the buyers definitely have something while we have a confluent, another expansion here, which isn't all that great. But this horn top is something to pay attention to. In addition, let's discuss. Let's go back to this. We can talk about the 4-hourly pickup on the RSI. We're not there yet. Don't worry about it. We're not there in terms of a real good pickup. Mark the price 114,000 right now is where that will intersect. We'll have orders at 114,300 exactly right now will be oversold on the 4-hourly RSI. That's just a fact. So if that's your target, that's your target. I think we're on the hourly right now. We don't dig too much into the lower time frames. Want to talk about what we're going to be doing. We're going to have a leadership board. We're building the leadership board now so that the members not only trade on MarketHedge, but that we're going to show and profile who's on the leadership board. What's up? That is awesome, huh? That's going to be a lot of fun. And in terms of that, we've got the leadership board incoming, and we'll discuss some other perks along there with to further integrate you into, like the winners are really going to be shown off and be able to tell people that they're winning. So I'm excited about that. It's not all about me, guys. I'm going to build a place, and we're building a place with a development team that's really going to showcase how great of traders you are, right? So that's the idea. I hope you guys are going to have a good weekend. Don't stress out too much. Let's just look at the 30-minute. Why don't we look at the 30-minute and say, how could Bitcoin have a great weekend? Well, Bitcoin, if you're going to have a great weekend, first of all, on the 30-minute before everybody gets out of school on Friday, what do we have here? We have a really mean, you got it right, descending triangle, son of a gun, right? Yeah, that one burned. That one stung. That one was a mean drop. And I think I don't know, maybe the federal government has something to do with that in terms of some spokesman said something about USA not buying Bitcoin. Guys, they weren't buying Bitcoin anyway. I don't have any idea what the big deal was. It's like they weren't buying Bitcoin anyway. It's a confiscation, whatever it was. But I didn't understand how the news really, resolved itself to the downside when they weren't doing, that we weren't in the Bitcoin buying business anyway. So to the extent that was a big pour down, that's all right. Let's talk about, though noted, not a really solid fundamental. In terms of this, let's talk about a recoup potential line at 123. Let's mark it 123,000. I don't see a really good retest. I can go to the lower time frames, but it would have been nice to see a good kickback here in terms of that 123. Instead, when that news came out, it's almost like a gap on the news, bone to the downside on a certain time frame it was. I'm going to mark the 123 and be stubborn. That's what I'm going to do in terms of that 30-minute as well. Let's watch for that specific Bollinger Band on the 30-minute time frame and say it would be nice. I think we have a bit of a dissension here. Pay attention to a target to the upside. I'd like to hit this target if we can, unless the bears just come screaming out of the woods, right? I'd like to hit this top side target, line resistance, and I would like to play around with this specific pattern behavior here anytime I can create a pattern with expanding volatility to the downside. I'm interested. I just am. We've also got a clear, if you guys will look at this, I'm sure you have this scoped out, a clear flat bottom support, which would be a great recovery line to get to, at least for the weekend, if we're looking at 11865, about that 11865. Let's mark that with a parallel line as well. If you guys are trading this weekend, just to make sure you've got these metrics. Now, of course, like it is, give me a target, then give me a pattern to get to the target, right? That's what essentially we like to do, is show me a target, then a pattern to get to the target. So these are a few patterns, a few targets. Let's see if this is dead space or if Bitcoin can get back up into this zone. Got a lot of lateral interest here. Okay, so this lateral interest could be really interesting if the following were to occur. Pay attention. If we were to establish a base in this zone, and this is perspective, okay? If we were to establish some kind of a base in this zone, what is the number one thing that we would like to hit? It would be this line. Pay attention. It would be this ascending line to the upside. Now, why would that be? Because essentially we'd be formulating a flat bottom support, ascending line of resistance, and these can be the biggest surprises for the bears. You know these if you've traded them, but we have to establish the base here, and if we do, it's going to be essentially, this is going to be the game. This is going to be the test probably for next week is, do we have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and boom, to the downside, or can we? And the thing that gives this some credibility is we have this line of resistance across the top that could be a heck of a move to the upside. Boom, 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 boom. That's going to be the King Kong move if we can get it. And it's just going to surprise everybody because a lot of times these rising resistance lines, everybody's looking here and looking down. So bottom line is a breakout trade as well. So you know that. Head and shoulders can get tricky, but they're just so widely accepted and they trade so well on Bitcoin. Just pay attention to those. Now, this is London with Bitcoin Spike and MarketHedge. I don't want to leave anyone in the dust. If you're trading altcoins, congratulations on all your alts. Post, let me know what you're trading in the in the comments. And let's do this, guys. Let's get the details working in terms of MarketHedge. I'm testing. We're going to be bringing it. Don't want to bring it too quickly, but Luke, I want to shout out to Luke. He's going to be involved as well. And looking forward to that, Luke. We're going to find you an awesome place. Hope all of you are having a great time with your family on vacation. And I'll probably talk to you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much. This is London with MarketHedge.